That, of course, was Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland on funding for the new construction, funding for construction of new rental units. There were a number of measures aimed at housing in the budget. We're going to talk about some of those now with Bill Robson. He's Chief Executive Officer of the CD Howe Institute. We'll bring back a board in which we can quickly summarize some of the measures announced on housing. $1 billion over 3 years to build 7,000 new homes, $15 billion for 30,000 new rental homes in years ahead, a new Canadian mortgage charter, and removing the GST, the goods and services tax, from new rental housing. Bill Robson, the government was under pressure to do something about the supply situation, the shortage of home supply in the country. What are your views on some of these moves?
The numbers are so tiny compared to a rise in your target for immigrants, new permanent residents to 500,000 a year. And we now have temporary students and temporary foreign workers, that are have added another million to the population over the course of a calendar year. So they've created the problem that they are now under pressure to solve. I don't mean to sound as though I'm against immigration. I think it's been so good for Canada over time. And I worry that what they're doing now is going to kind of undermine the consensus that supported that with the economic success that immigrants have had and the clear shortage of available housing.
How so to undermine that traditional support for immigration?
Well, partly because of the housing problems that we're seeing in the areas where the most immigrants are coming. So I'm quite concerned about this. I think the federal government, they're under enormous pressure to spend money, and that's one thing that they're clearly very good at. I think they could probably do more good if they made more land available. The federal government has a lot of land. It's not necessarily located in exactly the best places, but if you ask a developer, what do I need? Do I need like a slightly better concession on my interest rate, or do I need free land? I mean, they'll take the land. And the feds could do a lot more with that. So I think they're kind of working around the edges here. The other thing that concerns me a little bit, and this is just a tiny thing, but there's this move that they're going to deny interest deductibility to people who are investing in short-term rentals. You look at that, it's an announceable, right? Sounds good. Okay, so practically speaking, what's the tax legislation going to look like? And when you think bigger picture, like we want to encourage more rental housing, and then you look at the concrete measure in the budget, it's actually, Airbnb isn't going to solve the problem, but we definitely want more investment in rental housing. And here's a concrete measure that actually is proposing to shut it down through a tax measure that they may find is just impossible to draft.
Yeah, this, I believe, is aimed at the likes of Airbnb to deny income tax deduction when short-term rental operators are not compliant with local rules. It's also the government proposing $50 million over 3 years to help governments enforce restrictions on short-term rentals like Airbnb. The criticism is that Airbnb units are essentially hotel units and not and are reducing supply for longer-term housing. What about the removal of the GST, the goods and services tax, on the construction of new rental housing?
I get it, but they are poking the GST full of holes. One of the great strengths of the GST when it first came in, the government, at the time it came in, did exempt groceries. And there was a lot of pressure to do that, so they didn't do the New Zealand route where they just covered everything and got a lower rate. Instead, we had a higher rate, and we cut groceries out. Now it's become kind of like the tool of choice to exempt this, exempt this, exempt this, exempt this. And so our sort of broad-based goods and services tax is increasingly becoming a bit of a Swiss cheese. So I get the temptation to do it. They took the GST off, I guess it was psychiatric services as well. I don't remember the detail there. It was a quick bullet.
Psychotherapy, I believe.
Psychotherapy, right. Yeah. Again, it's very easy with each of these individual moves, just like how you're going to exempt heating oil from the carbon tax, right? Like, okay, yeah, I get it. It's responding to a pressure point, but they're undermining the tax system. And so it's very hard for me to get wholeheartedly behind any GST exemption, because when you're doing a special tax expenditure like that, you really ought to show it as a spending program. right? Like you're undermining the tax base, you're undermining the integrity of the system. You really ought to have that broad-based low-rate tax, and anything particularly that you want to do that's targeted, do it through a spending program, because then Parliament sees it. They say, okay, we know what's going on there. Auditor General can audit it. When you do it by poking a hole in the tax, it just it creates problems, and ultimately, the more holes you have in the GST, the more trouble you're going to have enforcing it.
Many years ago, a Conservative Prime Minister, Stephen Harper, actually reduced the rate of the GST. That was controversial at the time. Do you think any government would be brave enough to raise the GST rate these days?
I don't see it happening unless you were in a position to do a more comprehensive tax reform. When you do anything big on the tax system, it really helps to be able to give everybody a revenue break. And when you got a $40 billion deficit and a financing requirement of $110 billion a year, you're not in a great position to do that general kind of like revenue lowering thing.